minutes, okay?
Okay. Wait. So for meanwhile, I would like to just revise what we discussed in the last session here until everybody joins.
Yeah. Now we can start. Let me start
So,
the recording.
fine. So in the last session, what we discussed was
Recording in progress.
the materials, the material types, right? So we precise it is finished, semi-finished, and the raw materials, and some of the bulk materials, right? And also we understood that what is the difference between a semi-finished, what is the difference between finished and raw material and semi-finished and each other material types. And also we understood what is the quantity and the unit of measure, and more importantly, what is the bill of material, right? And a work center. So work center anyway, I will explain later. So until the materials, material types, unit of measure, quantity, and the BOM, do you have any questions? Please let me know. If not, I will quickly jump into the bill of materials and I will explain in the system also. Okay. So for the cycle to be manufactured, we made a BOM where handle assembly is one of the semi-finished. Under handle assembly, we have two rubber grips, horn, brakes, cables, light, and some rod, right? And similarly, we have one more semi-finished tire assembly, which will have two tube washers, valves, spokes, etc. And chain assembly with bearings, chains, pocket, and jaw wheel, right? So as we understand here, to make a bomb, first we need all the materials, right? So each material is different. Okay, so when you even if you open SAP system, you will create each material as separate, object in the system. Okay, so let's see how to create a material in the system. So today we will more focus on how to create a material in the SAP system. And I know many of you already know how SAP system looks like. But for the people who doesn't know, I mean, who are looking at this for the first time, I'll just show you. So this is the initial screen of the system. Okay, here you will see some important information like what is a client, who is the user ID, what is the user ID that you have logged in with, what is the current program name, what is the transaction name. So this transaction is important. I'll explain you. Okay, what is a transaction and what is a program, and response time to open and other timings. Okay, so these are not technical related. We need not worry about this. Ideally, the most important things are the system and the transaction. Okay, So I will just keep this transaction as a selection. So you can put anything, okay? Whatever you select, that will appear here in the bottom, and I will select the transaction. So whenever I'm explaining, if you have a question like what is a transaction, you can link it here, and you can note it down if you are noting down somewhere. Yeah. And these are the favorite bars. So you can just add by right click and insert a folder or insert a transaction. Okay, and you can maintain some transaction codes here. And after that, you need not remember them, and you just come here and double click. So that's how it works. And then, so when you look at here, right, there is a execute button, and then there is a arrow. Here, this is called as transaction bar. Okay, so here you enter the transaction code. Okay, for everything we have a transaction code. Okay, and this is the transaction bar. Transaction code in the shortcut we call it as T code. Okay, this is back button. Okay, and few other things. This is find, print, and other things. Okay, which you will understand. And these I will explain later. Okay, any questions about this main screen?
Arvind, Dilip
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, Dilip.
Yeah, for configuration part, may I know where can I get the information? So do we have any idea? Because from yesterday onwards, I'm struggling, but not getting any.
You can go to SPRO and you will get it. So if you type, so this is a transaction bar, right? You just have to type SPRO.
No. Before this, not configuration about like how to install SAP in the system.
Okay,
So
that Subha will explain.
Dilip.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we will discuss that tomorrow morning. Okay.
Yeah, thank you then. Thank you so much then.
Yeah.
Yeah, this about the system configuration help, Subha will help. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
So now let's start with our Excel sheet. Again, I'll open the Excel sheet. So what do you think we need to create initially? So which object should we create? We need to create materials first, all these materials, and then we will go to BOM. Okay. So in the materials, what do you think that we need to create first? Is it finished material or semi-finished or raw material?
Finished.
Yeah, finished material. Okay. We can try, I mean, we can start with anything ideally, but usually when you go to the project, people create the finished product initially. Okay. So let's go to the system. So MM01 is the transaction code for creation of material. Okay. So when I hit enter, you can see here also, as I said, MM01 will appear here. So whenever you have a question to understand in which T code I am in, you can just see this and note it down. Okay, or remember. Okay, here you have few things. Okay, there is the very initial screen of create a material, and here you can give the material name. For example, I want to produce a cycle. Okay, underscore maybe hero. Okay, this is the gear. Okay, maybe this is my cycle name, what I want to create. Okay, and here this will come into which type of industry. So these industries are standard ideally as far as this industry type is concerned, right? Mostly people won't change it unless it is really different kind of industry like oil and gas, etc. So
Arvind, is this industry column is standard like chemical industry, mechanical?
Yeah, these are all standard. Whenever you open the system, you will see in every system you will see the same options.
Okay.
And most of the things are covered here. If not, you can configure it. But mostly it will be covered here also.
Okay. MM stands for material master.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't, it may stand for it. There are many other material master transactions also, which doesn't start with MM. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. MM01 is the material master creation T code. And industry, just tell me which kind of industry this is. We are manufacturing a cycle, right? Generic thing.
Mechanical.
Mechanical.
Okay. And so there are a lot of material types. Okay. And what we are going to produce is finished
Oh,
good,
finished one.
correct? Finished product. So I will select this. So now if I select this, right? So when I select finished product, you can see that there is something called FERT, correct? Yeah, FERT, finished
Yes.
product. And for every material type, there is 4-letter code, 4-character code, correct? HALB is for semi-finished. FERT is for finished. And similarly, ROH is for raw material. So these are standard material types. Okay. So FERT stands for finished product. So going forward, we can call finished product is very big name, right? We can call as FERT also if you want to. Okay. And semi-finished you can call as HALB also. So everybody who is in SAP, you know, who is working on SAP will understand all these terminologies. Okay, this is very commonly used terminologies. Okay, so FERT is the standard material type for the finished good. HALB, HALB is the standard finished. Standard material type for the semi-finished. Similarly, ROH, raw, or ROH is a raw material. Okay. So initially now we want to create a finished good. So FERT, I will select. Okay. Until here, any questions? Okay, I'll go ahead. And you can see here select views, right? So when I hit enter, this will go and navigate to the select views. Okay. If I hit enter, it is asking me to navigate to these views. Okay. So these are nothing but some tabs where I can enter the material information. Okay. For example, I will select. So whatever are so when you look at here, right, there are many things. Okay, not everything is basically applicable for production planning. Okay, like for example, sales is for sales SD. Classification is common across PP, MM, SD everywhere. Similarly, international trade is not for PP. Okay, purchasing is not meant for PP. So what is important for PP is for the finished good, basic data 1, 2, then MRP 1, 2, 3, 4, then work scheduling only if it is a finished good or semi-finished good, then accounting and costing. Okay, so if you look at here, I selected basic data 1 and 2, then MRP 1, 2, 3, 4 views, then work scheduling, accounting, and costing. Okay, now I select this. And before I go there, I wanted to show you a small setup. So if you click on this default setting, okay, I'll just select this default setting. Okay, once I select this default setting and close this, right? Now, if you have entered this information, if I hit enter, automatically this will be selected for whichever material you open, right? So for all the materials, this will be by default highlighted. Okay, you can just say okay. Unplanned. Okay, planting is nothing but what we discussed earlier. So here I think discussed something like Hyderabad, right? So plant USA1, HYD1, MEM1. So these will be created, okay, initially by the project team. Usually MM guys will create this plant and other stuff, and they assign the company, and the costing team will assign, some cost centers, profit centers, etc. But ideally, this is not our cup of tea to create. Okay. So I'll take some existing plant which is already there in the system. This and it has another plant which is SAP. Okay, this is the plant. This is some existing plant which I have taken from the system. Okay. Now, once I enter here, it is asking, it has taken me to the basic data one. Okay. After that, basic data two and all other tabs. So this each one is a tab. Okay. Any questions still there? Okay.
Yeah,
So
hi.
yeah. Go ahead.
You have taken MM01 by default. You have taken, or just like that you have taken MM01.
MM01 is a transaction code. Okay, we'll just come back and again open /n. So when you want to just clear this, you have to just put /n and enter. Okay, /n and enter, and everything will be gone, and this will be plain screen. Okay. Now I will go to MM01 again. This is a transaction code for creation of material. Always. Okay, this is the standard transaction code provided by SAP. So for everything you want to, for any task you want to do in SAP, there will be a transaction code. Okay. Yeah, I will hit enter and you will be navigated to this screen. Now, if I put my material number, which I want to create here, like for example, here I want to create cycle underscore gear. Okay, and hit enter, it will show me all these views, which one to select. So since I selected some views and selected here and choose here default setting, it has by default given me some options, right, to select all these views. So now if I hit enter, it is asking me to give a plant, and I will give you ZAMP, which is existing plant, okay, in the system, because plants are basically created by MMT. Okay, so we just use them. So these discussions will happen, like which plans to be created, how many storage locations to be created. All these things will be done by MMT, okay, not PP. So they will do it and they will create in the system before we start our work in the system. Okay. Now, once you hit enter, you will go into the material master. Okay. In the material master, you can enter the description. Now I am saving cycle gear, right? Hero cycle model gear 250, something like that. Okay.
Yeah,
This
Arvind.
is-
Yeah.
yeah.
So better we should show, like, how you when to fetch the existing plans, right? So
Yeah, that I will show. That is at table level. So I think it is very early stage to.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
for
just
these guys to practice this one, right? Then how?
you can use the ZAMP. You can go through the recording, right? Whatever I did, you just change the names. Okay, don't put cycle, put some car, bike, or whatever is your example, and all that objects, right? Which where you are going to use like organization. I mean, org structure. You use whatever I used in the system. Like plant is ZAMP, right?
Got it. Just I want to make them clear. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now here, as we discussed yesterday, right? I mean, the last session. What will be the base unit of measure? Can somebody tell me per cycle? Each. Yeah. So if I click F4, okay, these are the options. If you have anything, okay, like here, I don't have any drop down button here, right? Means you don't have option. It is a free text to be input. Now, if I have something like this, okay, this checkbox, this means it is mandatory field. Without entering this field, you cannot go ahead, go forward. Okay. Now, if I click on this field, I will have a drop down option. Okay. Now you can click on this drop down, or shortcut is F4 in your keyboard. Okay. and I have a lot of unit of measures, correct? So acre, mile, inch, whatever, right? You name it, you will find it here ideally. So I will say select. So let me explain again. So you see here find option, correct? This is find. Okay, this binoculars is find. Okay, I will just go again. I went to base unit of measure. There is this drop down option. I clicked here, and now I see a find option here, this binoculars. Click there and write EACH, whatever you want. And I found mine. Okay. If you would like to use this, you can double click on this. Or you think there is more eaches. For example, if you think that there are more eaches, then you click on this to find the next each. Okay, because sometimes you search for kilogram, okay, and it will be kilogram and kilometer and kilo many things, right? So if you just find kilo, for example, I'll show you here, KILO, hit enter, I see that cubic centimeters per kilogram. And if you think that this is not my choice, I want to see something else which starts from kilo, you will have to press this find again. Then you will see gigajoule per kiloliter. Wherever there is kilo, you will keep finding them. Okay, clear on this?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
since mine is each, I'll just select each. Okay, and double click on this, and this will be selected here. Okay, and in this page, I saw that this as the mandatory field, so I entered this. Nothing else is important for you now. Okay, this category group and all are not relevant to you. Okay, there are a lot of other things. Yeah, tell me.
So why you have selected as each? We can select any other measurement, right? For example,
No, I understand. Tell me.
yeah. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because you are doing it for each tire, or how it is?
Each cycle.
Each cycle. Okay.
Yeah. See, for example, if you want 5 cycles, right? So
Hmm.
it will say 5 cycles, right? So if you are using the word itself, then in SAP terminology, we use as each. Not
Okay.
just in SAP, I mean, the business terminology is each. For example, if
Okay.
you are measuring some water, it will be in liters or
Hmm.
milliliters, something else, right? Similarly, it is each for a single object or multiple. Like if you are taking a object directly per se.
For example,
Uh-huh.
if the material is other than cycle, if the material is, for example, for example, I'm telling, if it's petrol,
Petrol,
then
okay.
we'll select the base unit of measure into liters, right? If I'm not wrong.
It's gallons, etc. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. Based on the material, you select what is the appropriate unit of measure that you want to measure that material in. Okay.
Okay. And one more thing, like
Hmm.
as you told,
Mhm.
these materials are being created by team, right?
Team, yeah, you're right. Yes. But everybody
Oh.
should have idea on this. Okay. Ideally, nowadays, even team is not creating this. There is
Mhm.
separate master data team. Okay. But
Mhm.
the information should be gathered by us. As I told, these are not relevant to you, correct? But
Yeah.
these may
Yeah.
be relevant to somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what MDM team or master data management team or MDG team, right? Master data
Mm-hmm.
governance team nowadays, they do
Mm-hmm.
is they basically ask you for the information. They say that we are going to create a cycle gear, okay, as per discussion with the business, and what information do you want us to uh, add during the creation of the material. So they will give you
Mm-hmm.
template and you have to give that my base unit of measure should be each, for example.
For
Description should
example,
be like that.
yeah, for example, if you can see, show us any template, like
Okay.
for the requirement, if For example, it is fine, but
Yeah.
in real time, for example, how
In
they are
real time,
giving.
they will just give you a Excel sheet, okay? They
Mm-hmm.
just have material description, base unit of measure, etc. Okay, all
Mm-hmm.
these fields, and they will ask you like what fields you need in specific to be created. And for that, it is not just they send you an Excel sheet, okay? They will basically have a discussion with you even before they do it. Because if they keep adding all these fields, it will be too much big file, right? And mostly in many of the organization, only in this screen you will see only base unit of measure, some material group, maybe product hierarchy, and this general, item category group. Other than this, nobody will use anything else. Okay. So whatever are important, we will have a call with MDM team initially, and we will tell that I need this field. When you are sending the template, you only include these fields. Got it?
Oh, got
Then
it.
they
But
will. Then
sorry for the.
yeah, yeah.
I have one more concern. This template and all will
Okay.
be we will be creating it, right? Or else
They will
it will be
create.
already created and it will be created. Like for example,
Uh-huh.
for if there is any other team which is
Mhm.
creating the template, will be
Mhm.
using that template and will be changing that fields or how it is.
Yeah. So they will share you the template. Along with you, they will share it with sales and other folks also. Okay. And everybody will give their information. After once all the inputs have been received, they will have a call and they will share that Excel sheet in the screen sharing. It will be kind of like not 1 day activity. It will be kind of 3 or 4 days. I mean, like from PPB, you will be sitting there, and then guy and MDM team will be there, and they will discuss that we have received for these materials. This is the base unit of measure. Okay, and similarly other stuff, right? So once everybody agrees, then only they will go ahead with that creation. Okay, once you all agree, they will send it for the business approval. It's not just
Okay.
our approval, right? So everything will be
Mhm.
approved by business. If they have something else, they will suggest something else also. That I would not, for example, say you told petrol in liters, right? They will say
Mhm.
no, we use gallons, so we never do it in liters. So
Mhm.
such way they will also suggest, and you will have to change the inputs
That's it.
accordingly.
Input data. Okay. Sorry,
Yeah,
base input of measure. Okay.
yeah. And these
Mm-hmm.
things, while discussing with the business, right, you will
Mm-hmm.
just suggest them that, for example, cycle we maintain as each. What would
Mm-hmm.
how would you like to go
Uh,
ahead? So they
yeah,
will
how will you
confirm at the
like to
time of
measure?
initial discussion also.
Mm-hmm. So all the requirement and all, after
Mhm.
filling these details and all, we'll have a call with the business team and the stakeholders, right? If I'm not wrong,
Correct.
and
Mhm.
the production team and all, right? Before.
See, usually there won't be a big team, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There will be only 2 or 3 super users along with
Mm-hmm.
a manager, 1 or 2 managers, that's all. Because all this
Okay.
initial stuff, we will not have many people. So ideally, users will be in tens or hundreds, okay,
Okay.
based on the
Okay.
company size. But all the
Mm-hmm.
users will do what you say. Only
Mm-hmm.
thing, the decision factor will be with the super user and the manager. That's all.
Okay, now
You
you meant
all
to say
build a
the
system.
super admin and the
That's
manager.
all.
Okay, okay,
Correct.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Okay.
for final discussion, we will be creating this details, correct?
Once you discuss and once you agree
Okay,
of what you do, and even before master data load, right? So these things you will be creating in the dev system.
okay, okay.
Okay, development system you will create and show them first. So
Mm.
master data creation is at the last, ideally, in the production system at least. So you will show these, and this demo will happen 3 or 4 times, not just once. Obviously, when you go for the first time, right, there will be a lot of inputs provided by the business team, and then again you refine, and it will happen. Okay, and it keeps changing until you go live, and after go live also sometimes it keeps changed. That's how business works. I think I believe you already know if you are already there in some other technology also. Always business
Mm.
needs some new things, right? So they are never
Requirement
satisfied.
changes. Yeah,
They
bro.
never they're
Requirement
never
changes.
satisfied.
That
Yeah.
happens. Yeah. And
So
also one thing, like before going to the final approval and all, so we'll have the discussion and we'll conclude and take an approval. Then only we will execute it, or how it is.
this one is like this initially you will do it in the dev system, right? You
Ah,
need not have any approval. You will
mm-hmm.
first create, okay,
Okay,
and
okay.
show them and
Mm-hmm.
show to your counterpart, because for every module there will be separate counterparts from the business side, right? So for
Okay,
PP you
okay.
will be dealing with all the
Mm-hmm.
production execution or planning, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when I say planning, right, nowadays even planning is like redundant in SAP, because most of the people go for IBP or PPDS, and many people are out of dealing with planning in out of SAP also. So mostly
Yeah.
they use
Mm-hmm.
for execution part. I think many people would know already.
Mm-hmm.
So you will be dealing with the supervisors, or when I say supervisors, the plant production manager, right? And some key super users, okay, who knows end-to-end process, and they understand IT. So they will come and see your setup, how we have set it up in the system. Okay, and if there is
Okay.
any modifications, they will tell you right there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one thing, and this may change as you progress, and when you start doing the integration part, right, with MM and other, because you create something and your MM counterpart will also do something at the same time. So you all
Mm-hmm.
also keep discussing internally, and
Mm-hmm.
if there is any questions, or if there is any contradictory statements, right, between your all your module leads, then you all will set up a call with the business team. Say that,
Mm-hmm.
see, your sales guy is saying that they are selling in gallons, but you
Mm-hmm.
are saying that I am producing in liters. So which one should I use? Should we use both? Should we create some alternates, or what should I do? Or will you business team come to a conclusion and let us know which is the final one? Okay,
Okay.
because
Okay.
many a times what will happen is it will be from the business teams. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
all discuss and give them some options, but the final decision factor will be by the business.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, here we should not take any headache.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you are on the job roles, right? Never take an headache of deciding something. Just see what are the options. Ask business in the over the email. Okay, that these things I have found, and you tell me what should I use, and simple. And you sleep, and next day morning you will get an email. Until then, you don't do anything on that. Okay?
Yeah, Arvind, actually, that if you can show some kind of a requirement to us for the practice
Uh,
session and all, that would be
yeah,
great, because if you are putting any experience and all, right, in the SAP, so
uh,
we need to see and we need to understand the business requirement as per my understanding, but I don't
yeah,
know what
you're
the
right.
others
Yeah,
say.
yeah. We'll do that. Okay, we will take all the real time examples only, and we will do that. Okay.
And
Thank you.
Arvind,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah, yeah.
So for suppose if we are we are entering this basic data in dev system, right?
Yeah.
So after approving, how this data will be moved to the testing, or else from testing to
No,
production.
this will not move. We have to create separately everywhere. So in
So
the dev system, you do not create everything, right? So you just create some scenarios and few materials only for testing purpose. That is for your testing ideally, right? And
so here we don't have any transport management systems, right?
no, for the master data, it doesn't have any TRs.
Okay, so in testing again we go there and we build again we build the same thing. Like if it get approved, this whatever
Correct,
we
you're
done in
right.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. For the
So
configuration, we have TRs, but this will not have any TRs. You will have to do it manually or through, LSMW or something. Now LSMW is also obsolete. So the MDM team MDG team has some techniques where they upload the data in bulk.
okay, so
Yeah. But in the up to up to like dev and quality, you people will be doing it manually for testing. Yeah.
I got it.
So coming to the production, right?
Uh-huh.
If we are completing the dev and testing, if you
Uh-huh.
wanted to go to the production,
Yeah.
then go live. So how it is like after all approvals, it will be going, or
It is a
we.
big thing, Gajanan. I think if you have been
Mhm.
upon it. It is a big decision ideally.
Okay.
Go live is kind of not dependent on just one module, right? It is with if they are implementing some 10 modules, so it depends on how many defects you have at the end of the, that particular sprint where you're ending the cutover and everything and entering into the go live phase, right? So there will be a go and no go meeting, and the VP level or president level will be interfering in that. That is a different decision overall. That is not within our control. Okay,
Okay.
so that is, and like what you're asking is two future thing. So
Mhm.
I think we are just in the session one, right? We will discuss all these things also for sure. We will have a separate session for understanding these phases also of the project. And but yeah, let's focus on the material creation part first. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for
No
disturbing.
problem. Yeah, yeah. So that also we'll discuss. That is very important thing. And even if you go to interviews also, you will get all these sort of questions. Okay. So we will discuss those points also. Okay. Now it is each. I believe everybody understood. Now if I hit enter, right? If I just hit enter, it will go to the next page or next tab. It should go. Yeah. I think it's reacted little slow. Okay. So basic data 2. Now, okay, basic data 2. Now, if I come here, you will see some other stuff. Okay. But I don't want to enter anything. Okay. Nothing is mandatory and nothing is important for PP here now. So I just hit enter. So it will take you to the next relevant tab, which is MRP one. Okay. MRP is
Even
material
in basic data
requirement.
2 also, we need not enter anything.
Not required unless you
Okay.
have. I mean, it depends on the nature of your product. Okay. For example, it is a DG. Okay, dangerous good. For example, you are creating a battery. Okay, then the customer, sir, I would like to have this material marked as some dangerous good somewhere. Okay, then you will see all these things may be little. I mean, you will see a lot of things here. Okay, like bulk, liquid, etc. So this depends on product to product. Okay, so everybody will not know everything, right? So some
Okay.
people would have worked on chemical, some people would have worked on mechanical, like automobile or some electronics. So you need not to know everything. Okay. But what you can do is whenever they say something, you go and just search in Google that how to create a dangerous goods in the SAP system. Then they will come, you will have very clear, explanation in the Google, because Google is really good at SAP. They know everything, every answer. So they will clearly say that you go and create a dangerous goods, relevant for dangerous goods, checks, documents, whatever it is, right? So it will help you understand. Okay. But for now, it is not required. So I'm not giving. Just for your example, I mean, understanding, I'm telling. Okay. If it is required, you will put it. Okay. So usually for batteries like lithium ion, if you see in your, if you buy a toy or something, right, or some good branded toy who follows all the regulations from Hamleys or somewhere, if there is a battery, they definitely send that paper saying as hazardous and it should not be carried in the flight and all the instructions. So these are used to produce those instructions. Okay. And chemical companies or the pharma companies will use it, will follow it very strictly because they have some auditing, constraints. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if I hit enter, so in basic data 2, ideally nothing is important. Now, if I hit enter, I saw planning, okay? MRP, material requirement planning 1. Here, if you look at here, automatically base unit of measure is copied from your basic data. Okay, and it is asking for MRP. Okay, this we will use as PD later. Okay, because now we are not doing any planning. I'll put as no planning. Okay, and there are some things like reorder point planning cycle, which I will explain later. Okay, and lot sizes also I will explain later. For now, I will put as EX. Okay, why I'm saying I will explain later is basically if I explain now, you will not be able to understand. Once we go into the order level, then you will understand these lot sizes and etc. Okay. So yeah, so this will park it for later when the order is being created. Okay, and when we create the order, you will only have that question that what is lot, because all this will be used there. Now next. In the MRP 2, important thing is procurement. Okay, procurement type. If I click here, there are 4 options. Can somebody try to read and tell me what could it be? You can tell, I mean, you can explain it wrong as well. I don't mind. Just try to guess what it is. We are
Production is nothing but semi-finished.
okay.
External
Good.
procurement is nothing but the raw material which we are getting from outside.
Okay, good. Yes.
No procurement means nothing we are getting. I mean,
Yeah.
both procurement types.
And
Not
sometimes they produce inside, otherwise
Yeah.
they also buy it from outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, all possibilities, right?
Yes.
So in-house is nothing but they make it in the house, like manufacturing. External means they buy it. No procurements, they don't do anything. Okay. Both means they sometimes buy, sometimes they produce based on the capacity. Because sometimes what will happen, they get order of say 1 lakh cycles, okay, and their capacity is only 50,000, okay, to produce in maybe 6 months or 1 year. So what they will do, they will not reject, right, to the customer that I cannot produce these things. What they will do, they will give it for vendors, okay, and ask them to produce on their behalf, and they will label their stickers, right? In that case, they produce in-house half of the quantity of the cycles, and then they also buy it from vendors, right? You understand this point? What is both procurement types?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Fine.
Arvind, there is a question
Yeah.
here. Sorry to interrupt you.
Uh-huh.
Why we are putting selected only MRP 1, 2, 3, 4, other
Yeah,
than all?
because yeah, for PP, I mean, there will be few relevant views for each module. Okay, so for us, it is only basic data 1, 2, MRP 1, 2, 3, 4, accounting 1, and costing. Okay, which are very basic, and later we will add 1 or 2 views like classification, etc.
Yeah, that's what. So MRP 1 stands for
That is a view. That's all. MRP is material requirement planning. Okay.
okay.
And that is a view. Inside that, there will be some fields which are relevant to your material requirement. I mean, the
So
planning.
these 4 are different types of MRPs, right?
No. These are not 4 types of MRPs. These will hold different informations related to the planning of that material.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I would say is after the session, right? You just try to basically go through these views. Okay, you try to create 1 or 2 materials, and I request, because our list is big, right, to produce this cycle, we are thinking to create a lot of materials. I request everybody to create one. So if each one of you will create 1 or 2 materials, automatically, all the materials will be done, created in the system, and we will review it and we will use it in the bound. Even that will help me actually. That will suffice 2 things, right? I need not create everything in the system. Second thing, your practice is also will be done. And during that creation of material, you will get a lot of doubts which will be addressed, okay, in the sessions. Okay, so I will give you that Excel sheet so you can create. Somebody can, I mean, maybe you can decide. We can decide at the end of the session, right? We will create what, and can keep creating also in your free time. It will take hardly 10 minutes to create a material. Okay. So now this is our finished product, as we say here, finished product SAP. So this is obviously in-house. Okay. So I create it as in-house production. Okay. And batch entry. So basically batch entry is used when your material is batch managed. For example, if you buy anything like milk packet or tablet or something, right, you will see the batch number on it to understand when it is manufactured and when the product expiry date will be uh, when the product will be expired, right? So that details will be mentioned in the batch ideally. Okay. So currently we will not have this batch entry. We will do it later because that will be a little tricky if we start doing it. Okay. Okay. Now, after this, I guess we can do. It will ask what else is important in the market 3 view. And if you go here, right, two things I will not enter, okay, deliberately. And when we are creating the order, system will ask that this information is not there in the material. Then I would like to enter at that particular time because you will also know what is error and what where to fix it. Okay. Now I'm just filling minimum basic stuff to create a material where it will not fail to, create the material. Okay. And then strategy type, you can leave it now. Availability check 0 to you can leave it. I'll explain this later. What is availability check during the order? Okay. And then now hit enter. You go to MRP 4. Here you see some scrap information, which also we will understand during our order. Okay. And then if I hit enter, there is a work scheduling view. And here also there is something called production scheduling profile, which we will not enter now. And once we get any issues in the production order, we will come back and see what is missing and we will enter. And there is something called tolerance data, right? So this is nothing but ideally when you produce this material, okay, and once you produce, if you are producing over, okay, like for example, if your production order is only 100, okay, and if for some reason in your section, okay, in the production section, if they are producing 110, is it allowed or not? Okay, that's what will be mentioned here. What will be the tolerance percentage? Okay, so under delivery and over delivery is that is relevant to that. Okay, if somebody has an order of say 100 cycles, if they are producing only 90, then it is under delivery. Okay, and if they are producing 110 or 101, because they are producing more than what is the order quantity, right? Then it is a over delivery. So the tolerance we can mention here, like if you mention 10%, for example, then more than 110 cycles cannot be produced for this order. It's like that. Okay. And if I hit enter again, you can see accounting, right? So here the important point is valuation class, which will be configured by MM team. But when you are creating this, right, when it is finished good, you will also have the, directly be filtered. So you will have to use the finished goods valuation class only. Similarly, for raw materials, it will be 3000 and semi-finished will also have some valuation class. So ideally, this is for accounting purpose and purely relevant to MM. Okay, and And this is very important, guys. Price control. If I hit enter, standard price and moving average price, right? So usually, many factories will consider this finished product as standard price, and the raw materials as moving average. Okay, and semi-finished also they maintain as, sometimes they maintain as standard, sometimes they maintain as moving average, and this also we will see how it will vary in future sessions. Okay, ideally just for understanding, I'll tell you standard price is nothing but you enter the cost in costing one tab. If I hit enter, right, now it is given as S here because it is standard, it is finished good, right? So by default it is S. Okay, for finished we put it as S. If I hit enter, so you will see that in the costing one, okay, here, yeah, here it is asking for to give the price of this material, right? So if you think that this you want to produce this in 10,000 rupees, you have to enter the cost of that cycle there. Okay, and 10,000, and this is for how many units? Okay, this is for 1 unit, and currency based on the company code, it has automatically populated, so that also will be taken care by usually team. Okay, so if you think in euros, maybe let's put it as 2,000 euros. Okay, per unit, 1 unit of cycle. Okay, and that will be standard. Whereas for the raw materials, we will not use standard price. We will put it as V, which is moving average. Reason is that we constantly procure from outside, right? And whenever we procure, somebody gives, for example, if somebody is selling you cycle for 10 rupees today, and tomorrow you're buying from some other vendor, same cycle, and there you're buying for 12 rupees. Okay, so the average is basically 11 rupees, right? In this month, you have bought it for 11 rupees. Although you bought it for lesser from some other vendors and higher from some other vendors, it will always put the average price in the cost of that material. So that's what is called as moving average price. Usually that will be activated for the raw materials, and for the finished, it will be standard cost. Okay. And here in the costing tab, there is a field called profit center, which you can ask to the FICO guy, meaning controlling guy. Okay, and he will talk. He will basically talk to the business and assign. I mean, give you a profit center which you can suggest to the business. Okay, this is a cost object. Okay, and if I hit enter, I think this will ask for saving. Let me hit enter. Yeah, you are about to exit. Do you want to save your data for this meeting? If I hit yes, right, the cycle is saved. Okay, now any questions until here before I go to the next point?
Arvind, sorry to interrupt. I have a question.
Yeah.
So you have created the cycle as one of the material in
Right.
our project. So for example, each person will be giving one module to do it, or how it is?
One module. See, PP is a module, okay?
Okay.
And the whole scenarios from PP side will be covered by you. You will be responsible for all the scenarios from PP side. Okay, and creation of material is just the beginning of the thing, right? I mean, the project. It is just the initial part of the project. So this will be ideally done by somebody else, but because we need to start with these, all things are initial things, right? So it will take some time for the master data team or guy to create all these things. So as a PP guy, you will have to have all this knowledge, and you will have to start with creation of the materials, warm up, etc. So
Initially, we need to take care and we need to create some test module and all.
correct, yeah.
For understanding, and we need to present to the
Correct.
other teams for the development and all, so that they can understand and create it, and we can present it after that, right? After
Correct.
they create and all, then we can see and plan to execute. Okay, okay, bro.
Correct. Yeah.
So one more thing, basically, for example, you told the material is cycle, and you have selected one section, right, bro? If I'm not wrong, uh, company or raw material, right? If I'm not wrong.
In the Excel sheet?
Not in the Excel sheet, in this one only, in the project, material value you are creating, right?
Cost. Okay. Yeah. Let me show you. Okay.
Cost object.
I want a profit center. So I want to show you. Okay. What we created. So now we created. We will take your question also. Dilip, right?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Gajanan, sorry. We will take your question. I think I would like to show this material now. So, what is the T code for material master creation?
MM01.
Okay. Somebody might already know what is for change. Okay. Always change will end with 2. Okay. It is simple. Now it is MM01 slash and I will go, I'll clear this. MM02 is a change. If you want to see display slash and MM03. 02 is change, 03 is display. In the display mode, you will not be able to, you enter your plant, ZAMP, right? And in the display mode, you will not be able to change anything. Only in the change mode, you will be able to change. And once you create a material, you will not be able to create again, right? So that's why we use change or display. Okay. So now I'm in display. Can somebody tell me what is a change transaction?
02.
What is the transaction for display?
Slash and
03.
Yeah. So you can use slash n anywhere. Okay. When you want to refresh the screen, if I write MM02 and hit enter, it says this record does not exist, right? So if we are in some other T code and if you want to refresh the screen, you have to first type in slash n and then you followed by your T code, what you want. Okay. So slash n MM02. Slash n is different to refresh your screen and MM02 your T code. Okay. Now if I click here, it will go to here. Hit enter my ZAMP, I believe, yeah, and hit enter. And here I think any questions in basic data one? Okay, good. Two we did not enter anything. MRP 1. Here we entered no planning and lot size. Okay, and base unit of measure is auto populated. And MRP 2 procurement type in-house we created. All these things will fill, okay, in-house production days, etc. But as we go to the production order, okay. Now hit enter. MRP 3 view, you have only availability check and nothing else. And 4 view, nothing. And in work scheduling, we have something like production scheduling profile, but we will not enter that now. Okay. And accounting one, somebody had a question here, right? Gajat, you had a question, correct?
Yes, bro. Not on accounting, I think. On the first tab,
Basic data one.
yeah, that help one, right?
Okay. On this one?
This one, material description. Can we go to the next one, bro? Basic tab. While creating the material, we got an option of selecting the raw material, right? If I'm not wrong.
Oh, wait.
Basic.
So you are talking about this material type?
Industry type and material type.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
for example, if you are creating a material for farmer, like for any medicine or something, right?
Yeah.
So the over here the options will get changed, or we need to select the
No, you will have the
option.
same options here. Okay, but
Yeah.
you will have to select whatever is relevant to you.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, but based on industry, again, you will change your. Now I said production order, right? That when you have pharmaceuticals, it will be process order.
process
So
order. Okay.
the process will change ideally. So based on this industry also, there will be some internal settings, right? So that's how it works.
So this material type and all, we need to select it, or how we can?
Yeah, ideally you will see, you will have only few material types which you will use in day-to-day life. Okay.
Okay.
Finished goods, semi-finished, raw materials, bulk materials. Okay. Bulk
Mm.
materials also usually you create as raw materials, and there is something check. Okay, inside the basic data or somewhere where you will check as you will put the tick mark as bulk material. That will be used that way. And
Okay.
you will have some packaging materials. Mostly
Mm-hmm.
these materials are only used. Okay. And there are a lot of other materials which will be used only on ad hoc or like very special cases, which only when business specially requires. But most of the times, like 90 or 95% of the times, you will see only these materials
Okay. So
in
I
the
need to
use.
get familiarized. So sorry for
Yeah, that's
asking
why I am
because
saying.
yeah.
So I want your help also, because all these things I may not be able to create, right? So I will share this also. So now we have this bomb, correct? Now I created cycle underscore gear is what I created. I request everybody, you can take like one or two raw materials and create by yourself in the system. Note it down what is the name of the material, and tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we can use them in the bomb. Because if I start creating this, right, we will lose all the time in creation of these materials only. Yeah, if somebody can take initiative, that will be helpful.
Sure, we will create.
Yeah, each one of you, if you take one or two materials, that is fine.
And one thing, Arvind,
Yeah.
while selecting, while creating these materials, right? You are selecting base one, MRP. These are all mandatory fields you have.
Views. Correct. Those are called as views. Yeah.
Yeah, those whatever fields you have entered, those
Yeah.
mandatory fields are you entered by yourself. Whatever we need to enter.
So yeah, only one or two were mandatory, but whichever is like really required, I have entered. And there are many things which will be required in future also, that we will keep entering as and when required.
So
Whenever we see some error, then we go here and maintain those fields.
those list they will give in the form, or we need to by
No,
practicing.
that you will know by the end of the session, right? You will know
Okay.
what is important and what is not. We
Okay.
will only suggest and do. I mean, you will not show all these things to business. Okay?
Okay.
Business, you will. I mean, once you set up everything, you will show them the process. Like you create a production order and you will walk them through how does the process work. But all these things is your background setup. This is your knowledge, right? They are not. They do not need this knowledge.
Okay.
That
They
is
only
your
need the output.
specialty.
They only
Correct.
need the
That is your
output.
specialty, right? As a consultant, you will do all the configuration setup. You will not show everything to them. So there may be an in-house consultant who will be interested. Then you can show to them that I have maintained this, but you need not explain what is everything, because they will also be aware of what are those. Okay.
Based on the requirement only, we have to select those, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So Arvind, you created for finished product, right? Till now, the
Cycle
rest,
underscore, yeah.
whatever
Correct.
semi-finished and raw materials that we need to do, right?
Yes, correct. Maybe you can just take a screenshot of this diagram, and you have the recording also. You connect with Subha, you will get the system access and try to create if possible. Just copy exactly what I did and you will be able to do it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, one more doubt, like while creating, just know whatever you did, na cycle gear, just one thing you can given.
So
But
I
suppose
would
if we are,
say, see, we have given here too many things, okay?
yeah,
Just
that's what.
create one or two.
So
Not
for
everything is
every
required.
individual, we need to do this, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
So initially what you do, it is very tough, right? So just put cycle gear Under this, you put this, don't put handle assembly, all this semi-finished. Okay, later you can modify. Just put 2 or 3 raw materials and let's get started to create the bomb, etc. So later we can again keep adding the semi-finished and other things. Just for the interest of time, if everybody is trying to create, I think we will be able to create it very quicker. But if only 1 or 2 persons are creating, just put under this, put 4 or 5 raw materials. I mean, just create 4 or 5 raw materials. We'll create bomb tomorrow.
So for horn, we need to create once, and for brakes, we need to create once. Like
Correct.
that.
Correct. I think just create one half and whichever is the smaller one, right? So chain assembly is small. You can create one half and these 3 raw materials and keep it ready. That's all is enough. Okay. So one more thing for raw materials, when you select raw material, work scheduling view will not come, so don't worry about it. You will not be able to choose work scheduling, so leave about it. Other views you can select and okay.
Okay.
So any questions before we stop for today? Subha, can you please help them to get this access so they can also create the materials and start practice? Because as you practice, right, you will get more understanding of what I'm teaching. That will be helpful to you.
Hi, Arvind.
Yeah.
So now that the finished product is created, the cycle gear, so do we need to enter that in the MM01? Do we need to enter cycle gear again? And in that sub, we need to create the handle assembly and all?
MM01, you have to, if you are creating a handle assembly, you have to go to MM01, put handle assembly.
Okay, in that material description, we have to put handle assembly.
Put handle assembly, yeah, right.
So then how does handle assembly go under that cycle gear? Because handle assembly is
That's what I'm telling you. Tomorrow we will do the bomb.
okay. So
Yeah.
you integrate those two tomorrow.
Correct. Yeah. Because today we only created one finished code. So under that we need something to be added, right? Tagged. So to make that assembly, we have to create a bomb. For that we need remaining materials also. So if somebody can create 4 or 5 materials, that is enough. Even 2 or 3 materials is also enough just to create a bomb for tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. So who will be able to create? Can somebody like?
I will go with chain assembly.
I will create handle assembly.
Okay.
And what if we create the same? What happens if we select the same ones? Like someone already created the horn, and what if I try to create the horn? Will it accept it, or will it just say material already exists?
It says it already exists. So don't worry about it. You cannot duplicate.
Okay.
Banu, we both will do chain assembly.
Okay. Done.
Yeah, done.
Done.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Let's meet tomorrow again.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Arvind.
Thank you.
Thank you.